Hello, I am live on Facebook. Well, I'm going live via StreamYard, so if you are watching this, make sure you give permission to StreamYard so I can see your name if you are jumping on live with me today. Thank you for being here. If you are, I'm going to wait to see if anybody pops on before I start, and I always like to do a bit of a banter talk, I guess you could call it. I am hoping I am live. I'm just going to double check on Facebook. Oh, we've got 2 people watching. Who is here today? Hi, Haz. Hi, how are you? Did you have a good weekend? I'm just going to pop onto this to say, where am I looking at? I've got so many tabs open and I just want to make sure that I've got, yeah, here we are. Okay, so I've got my tab open. So hi, Haz, how are you doing? How's your weekend? What did you get up to? Let me know. And not too bad, thanks. How are you? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm actually like near now, I would say kind of recovered from my cold that I've been having. Like finally, I think it's like shifted. I know you were a bit poorly as well, so I hope you were okay now. Are you okay? So yeah, happy Monday. This is Monday's live coaching session here in the Facebook group. We have some new members in, so obviously welcome. Maybe I'll do a few shout outs of those new members who have come in. So Alyssa, Alexia, I want to say Bryony, but Brina, I think it's Brina, and Kinsey. So welcome to this group. And yes, happy Monday. I want to call these like Monday Monday motivation and mindset sessions. It's a bit of it's long-winded, but I think that kind of like that is like the gist of these sessions. They're supposed to get you a bit motivated. It's all about sort of your mindset more than anything. So I think that's really relevant. If you are new to these, you can tune into these sessions in the guide section of the Facebook group. So I usually like to, once these are recorded, then I usually pop them into that tab. Obviously, if you're just watching this recorded or on replay, then just put hashtag replay, because I'd love to know who's been watching these and if you've been, and obviously also I'd like to then go, oh, what did you think? So I had a great weekend. I hope you guys did too. I saw some friends which I hadn't seen since last year, and I hope you guys have been getting some social time. Had my first barbecue of the year, and hopefully there's loads more of those to come. So 2 weeks now till I go try on dresses. The first shop that I'm actually going to see is the first shop I'm going to is actually to try on Chinese wedding dress. Of course it's wedding dress, but a Chinese dress more than it's a Chinese dress, because I am Chinese. My parents are from Hong Kong, so we're gonna have a tea ceremony and a traditional tea ceremony and a sort of a banquet as well. So that's part of the wedding. So I'll have to get a Chinese dress as well. And they're like, me too, not a Chinese dress. Oh, do you have one in 2 weeks as well? Yeah. So we are all, I think everyone's literally in this like mode of going dress shopping, and that's like all I see on my like social media at the moment is like people going dress shopping. Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be fun, like really hoping it's going to be okay. Apparently they're not really comfortable Chinese dresses to wear. Apparently they've got like lots of boning in to get the structure and everything, so like I don't know, we'll see. Oh yeah, on the 19th. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, not on the 19th, me too. Yeah, super excited for that. My sister and my mum are coming for that, so hopefully that'll be really good. And then after that, I think we are my dad's just going to hang somewhere outside or do something on his own, maybe go to a cafe around the area, and then we're going for probably some sort of Father's Day lunch, because it's like Father's Day on the Sunday. So yeah, we'll probably do that. So yeah, because there's new members, I do like to say, when there hasn't been members for a while, I sort of don't do my sort of my intro. But since there have been new members, and maybe that you're going to watch this, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Zoe. I help brides make a physique transformation a reality for the big day and beyond. I'm a yoga teacher, an ex-Pure Gym instructor, ex-chef tutor at the School of Rock London, and I am passionate about fitness, about the female body, and my superpower is that I have a deep understanding of food and nutrition. So that's me in a nutshell. And so yeah, welcome to the group. Please take part. Comment like Haz is doing, and love for you to join in these lives and sort of tell me, you know, honestly ask questions if you have anything, and just participate, because it's great to see and have people here in these love sessions. So let's get on with today's session, which is all about why you shouldn't eat less and not exercise. I'm talking about this topic because I know so many women, or rather I have probably some friends who think that they can do this, right? Or they would, shall I say, rather eat less than have to get up off their bums and work out. And generally speaking, I think you kind of fall into two categories. So you either fall into that one, okay, where you rather eat less and not work out, or maybe you fall into the other category, which is you rather eat whatever you want, or be able to eat, right, and exercise more. And I think I am very much in the latter. So I usually am someone who, especially in the past, I'm very much more of a foodie person. So I'd rather eat and then exercise and try and burn off those calories, right? But in today's session, I'm talking about why you can't just eat less and not exercise. So you know, yeah, being a former chef and being into food, I was always surrounded by food. And, you know, like as in, you know, part of my childhood, I was just like lathered with like, you know, food, which is like a form of affection. And so it makes sense for me why I always chose to choose food and then try to burn the extra calories by exercising, right? But that's just me. But let's say that you are the opposite, you know, you'd much rather eat less than exercise because maybe you have a fear of getting fat from food. Maybe food just doesn't excite you in the same way that it excites me. Maybe you have this like kind of mindset that skinny feels better than eating food, because I know that that is a thing, right? And maybe even you don't have the time to work out. And so your only option, I would say, is then to eat less and not work out, okay? And you're like too busy, you just can't cope with like eating with, you know, with you can't fit it in, right, your workouts. And so Haz, like, do you fit into one of these categories? I don't know if, like, let me know, do you fit into one of these categories? I'm gonna wait for her to say something back. Depends on the day of the week. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think I know what you're saying. Are you saying like on the weekday you're like really good, and then on the weekend like you're like you'd much rather just like I know, I think I'm just going off topic here again, but like I know a lot of people are really good at sticking to diets on the weekday, and then the weekend they just like let it all rain and just like relax because it's the weekend, and then they just sort of, you know, let things slide a bit. Sometimes I'm really good with my diet and exercise, and other days I'm terrible. Doesn't always have to be the weekend. Okay, right. So yeah, you know, generally, so Haz is saying it depends for her, and so, you know, or, you know, it might even be the case you just admit full stop that you just hate exercising, because there are people who do actually don't like to exercise, and, you know, and you feel like, yeah, you have like, because you really hate exercising, you just don't like to do it. But, you know, eating less it seems doable for you, okay? And then I don't want you to, like, from this, right, like, if let's say you do that, I'm not saying that you're bad, okay? And I'm not trying to make you feel crap about doing that, because, you know, we all have different eating habits, and we have all formed those from a very young age, and it's hard to change our habits, you know, when they have, you know, stem from our past and we've grown up with them. And so I don't want you to think I'm trying to make you feel bad or anything like that, okay? But obviously my job here with these sessions is to shed some knowledge and attempt to get you guys thinking more about your choices, okay, and whether they are really going to get you to the physique transformation you are desperately seeking, okay, along with feeling healthy and, you know, and healthy and being fit, okay? So when it comes to when you are eating less, right, it means that you are cutting your calories or your food intake below what your body requires on a daily basis, okay? And when you do that, it means that your body has to find energy elsewhere to fuel the 11 systems that we have within our body, okay? So some of those systems are like your respiratory system, your digestive system, your circulatory, your muscular and skeletal systems, okay? So that's just a few. And when you eat less, you put unimaginable stress, okay? Unimaginable stress onto your body. And so it is desperate to find a new energy source. So that's what happens when you eat less, okay? And this energy source will always be taken from your muscles first. Full stop. Usually it will be taken from your muscles first, because muscle glycogen, okay, so the muscles, the energy held within your muscles, okay, is readily available, okay, and it's held within the muscles so that you can use it at any given moment, which is why we have sort of flights. You know, you would have heard the flight and flight system, and so that sort of muscle glycogen is for you to, in I don't know, what's that word? Scary situations, for us to run and for us to run away from danger, right? And so that's why it's there, and that's why it uses that energy source first when you start to drop your calories and it doesn't have enough energy to fuel your body, okay? And the second choice of fuel is obviously will be maybe from your food source, okay, so something you've eaten, okay, so from the food that you're eating. And then obviously the third choice is usually from your fat stores, but obviously if you've dropping your calories, it's still not getting enough food, so it will go muscles, and then it will take it from your fat stores, okay, from the stubborn body fat you're trying to shift, okay. And so eventually, after eating less and less, okay, because it will get to a point, right, where you're eating less and less, your body will have no choice, okay, but to use the stored body fat, okay, to keep you functioning, okay. And this is why you will usually see a really big drop on the scales at the beginning of your diet, okay, and because you're no longer eating as much as before, and your body is desperate to play catch up, okay, it gets to a point where your body loses some fat, but then the more fat you lose, okay, the more fat you lose, the less likely you are then to feel full. Let me say this again, okay. So when at the beginning of a diet, you always see a big drop on the scales, because obviously your body's like desperate to play catch up, then because it's trying to restore all this energy. So you will start to see a big drop in scales, okay, because it's trying to use your fat stores or whatever, or your muscle glycogen, okay. But then it will get to a point where your body will obviously, as you've lost this fat, right, you will then start to feel less full. You will start to feel less full because of the more fat you lose. And so and the reason for this is because there are specific hormones held within your fat cells, okay, which make you feel less hungry. And that's really commonly, that's why you will get to a point of a diet, right, where you're so hungry and your body is then sending you a million signals, okay, to just eat. Okay, and it only takes like one thing in your life to trigger that. Like, you know, you have to show so much resilience, okay, to fight this hunger, to fight this, because obviously if your brain is sending you signals, is no longer sending you signals that you're not hungry, okay, the higher chance of your body will then be to say that you are hungry. Okay. And so it only takes one trigger in your life or something for you to then just go on this binge and spin out, and then, like, trigger these sort of you know this sort of unhealthy eating spurge, when you have spent all this time eating less and less and less, and you've got to this point where now you've actually reversed a lot of the things that you're doing, and then psychologically it really plays on you, and that's where sort of a lot of self-sabotage comes into play. But also what this does mean, it means that when you do have a sudden day where you are binging and you're increasing your calories, right, your metabolism, so not only that, when you do suddenly go on like this eating splurge, right, you're increasing your calories way above than what you've been doing. Okay, your metabolism has now slowed down so much from eating less. Okay, so it then struggles to process all these extra calories from your food. Okay, and especially if you're suddenly eating the types of food that you have not been eating, like the ones that you have been venting yourself, the ones that you have saying, all the ones that we say are bad foods. I don't label them, okay, but that is like, so I'm talking about things like that can be easily turned into fat. So the foods that I'm talking about, like crisps, your anything that has sugar in, so like your carbs, your simple carbohydrates, your pasta, rice, things like that, and your donuts, whatever it is, okay, those can be easily turned into fat. But when you suddenly start eating them, your body doesn't have time, your metabolism has dropped so low because you've been consistently eating less and less and less. Okay, and so then what your body then does, right, it then goes, okay, I don't have enough time, like there's so many calories here, I'm just going to store it all. And so that's why, you will then, because what's happened is your body has suddenly gone from, oh my gosh, we are no longer in a famine. Okay, we now got lots of food, so I'm going to turn all of this food into fat, because generally most food gets turned into glycogen, which is the fuel source that we can use, and then it can then turn into, and then it will be stored into your fat cells. It would be turned into fat. Okay, and so, your body at this point of when you have starved yourself so much, right, it's desperate for fuel. And so it will do anything in its power to store this excess of newfound foods into fat. And so, eating less, okay, so a few more points. So eating less kills your metabolism, okay, and it messes with your hunger hormones, okay, and eventually when you do, if I still want to say eventually, but generally we do, because when you eat less and less and less, you will eventually go back to eating something that, way above the calories or something than you have been before. When you fall off the wagon, you will see a massive weight gain. And also when your metabolism slows down, right, and you've gone into this starvation mode, your body will fight hard to reserve energy, okay, fat for energy. So that's why, hence why, your weight loss slows down too. And it'll get to the point where eventually it'll come to a standstill. So you no longer lose any weight, which is why people then hit this plateau and they can't lose any more weight, because your body has gone into starvation mode. It literally is using the minimum amount, is like reserving your energy so you can stay alive, okay? And so moving on from this, exercising also puts a demand, obviously, on your body to burn energy, right? And, it can be, and it can speed up the process of fat burning, okay? However, if you don't exercise, okay, and you are not working your muscles, okay, this means that your muscles will get smaller and smaller, okay, and even if you get down to a body weight that you are going to be happy with, let's say whatever X pounds, okay, it's going to it means that, so it's, even if you get to a weight that you are happy with, or you lose some weight, or you lose some fat, it is very unlikely, okay, that you will look toned and actually be truly happy with how your body looks, okay, because especially and the reason for that is because you have hardly any definition, okay, and you will still have, unfortunately, the cellulite, okay. You see people who are slim, who are skinny, and still have cellulite, and the reason for that is because they haven't been working their muscles, and there is not more muscle than there is fat, right? And because there is little muscle, because you have dropped, you have eaten less and less and less, not used your muscles to exercise, your muscles become smaller and smaller because your body thinks that you don't need your muscle anymore. Okay, and obviously the more muscle you have, the greater, the hungrier, or the greater demand for energy. So if you are starving yourself, or you are limiting your calories more and more each time, it means that your body has no reason to keep muscle for any reason. Okay, because its main job really is to keep you alive and then have as minimal muscle as there is need. And so when there is not enough, when there is very little muscle to press against the skin, okay, that's when the appearance of cellulite becomes apparent, because cellulite will be diminished, or you'll have the appearance of smooth skin and no cellulite will appear when you've reduced your fat, okay, your fat below the skin, but you've got enough muscle to press against the skin to create this like smooth appearance. And this is definitely why skinny people still have cellulite. Okay, and so sort of, are you following me with this, Haz? Are you, I don't know if you're enjoying this so far. Let me know. Yeah, so any sort of questions, Haz, for now? Yeah, I am. Really interesting. Yeah, so, okay. And so, yeah, if you have any questions, write them down, type them, and I'll try and answer them. So the key sort of takeaway, right, is that eating less slows down your metabolism. It messes up with your hunger hormones, which are likely to trigger a binge eating session, which will mean that you will end up gaining weight, back the weight that you probably lost, right? Okay. And if your metabolism slows down for a long period of time, your body will start to reserve fat, slowing down your weight loss. Okay. And when you start to trigger sort of, when this then happens, it's sort of, you know, when you do, when your weight loss then suddenly comes to a stop, what does it do? It triggers an emotional state of feeling like you failed, like all this hard work of starving yourself, of eating less and less. You feel like, why are you not getting results? Why am I not seeing the results that I want? Why am I suddenly not losing the pounds? Okay, and this triggers a really a self-sabotage state within you. Okay, and this is why it is so hard to stay on a diet to keep the weight off long term. You know, exercising works the muscles. It gives your body a chance of retaining the muscle mass that you already have. Okay, so you know, you have a better chance of looking toned. Okay, so that when you do eventually lose the fat, okay, and the more muscle you retain or build can help reduce the appearance of cellulite. Okay, so those are sort of the key takeaways I want you to sort of go away with. Okay, and if you are really serious about sort of getting dress fitting ready, you want to keep the weight off for good, you know, don't just keep eating less and less and less and not exercise. Okay, exercise has so many benefits, not just physically but for our mental health, because it releases the hormones that we need to make us feel good. And you know, obviously we all want to feel good, right? And if you are dreading on trying dresses or going to your next fitting, starving yourself for a long period of time, okay, is not going to be a sustainable solution. Okay, so even after you've, like, let's say you have done this for a long time, you started seeing results, and then, you know, you get to your dress fitting, okay, and then, like, let's say you then have your wedding, what you're going to do, you're going to maybe start to introduce some more normal eating habits. Okay, and so it's not sustainable long term. And if you say you don't have the time to exercise, or you just can't be bothered, then maybe making a physique transformation, you know, and finding the body confidence for your wedding date really isn't that important to you, because you know, you cannot earn something without hard work. Okay, and it's not like there's, and even if, let's say, like, so what I'm saying is that, you know, it's okay to say that maybe it isn't important to you. You know, having to make this physique transformation maybe is not on your priority list, you know, and that's okay, because everyone has their own goals. But if you do want to, you really need to make sure that you are exercising, okay, not just eating less and less and less, okay. You need to start taking this seriously and putting in the hard work, okay, because let's be honest, we are all busy, okay, and you're never not going to be busy. And if it's important to find time, okay, you'll find the time to exercise, okay, and you'll put the hard work in, because exercising is hard, you know. And I love this phrase, nothing of value comes with ease, okay, nothing of value comes easy. And so, you know, if you have been eating less and less and not exercising, or what you're doing is not getting you the results that you want, to finally, you know, lose the weight, you know, to finally lose the weight, you know, you still have the unwanted body fat, okay, don't feel ashamed or embarrassed about it. Okay, just start to do something proactive about it. Start exercising, start being more active. Okay, and even if it's not like ideal or perfect, it doesn't have to be. It's just about taking those small steps and finding a way to find time. And if you don't have the time, then find time, because time is the same for all of us. We don't have less, we don't have more. It's just that some people manage their time better, okay, in order to be able to exercise, okay, and to do it consistently. And obviously, yeah, so when I say obviously, I think that's it for today. I am also you know, if you are sort of really struggling, then I implore you to maybe even book a 30-minute dress fitting ready call with me, okay? And I could, and in this call, I will highlight maybe some habits that are killing your dress fitting goals, okay? So feel free to DM me, message me if you want to get on this sort of dress fitting ready call, so that I can start helping you out. Let's see if has any sort of, oh no, she doesn't have any questions, but she's saying, I'm okay, thanks, I'm learning. I like learning, you know this. Yeah, I do. Thank you so much, Haz, for being here. It's always great to have you here. And I hope you all have a lovely week ahead. If you're watching this on replay, like I said, reach out to me if you want to jump on a dress fitting ready call with me, and we can maybe go through some things that are, yeah, causing you causing your plateaus or whatever it is. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a lovely week. I'll love you and leave you. Bye. But yeah, Has says, thanks for the motivation. Always, always, I'm here. The Monday motivation and mindset sessions.